Hey everyone, Steve Remy here with Fat to Fast Cycling, and welcome back. We've got episode 3. Can't believe we even made it to episode 3. 35 days later since we started. From ground zero, having gained as much weight as I possibly can. The heaviest I've ever weighed, 230 pounds. Holy crap. And let me tell you, the last 5 weeks has been pretty gnarly. Anyway, we're going to go into all that. We're going to go into some weight. We're going to go into the first race we just had. We're going to go into what it looks like for the training, what I've done. We got a lot ahead of us. Real quick, if you're just now tuning in, again, my name is Steve Remy, and I'm with Fat to Fast Cycling. This is basically an experiment to gain as much weight as I can in 4 months, lose any and all fitness that I ever had, and then in 6 months, start training again and win a race in 6 months. So that's it. That's where we're at. So stick around, and we are going to be going over everything. Okay, so here we go. Well, we've got a lot to cover. So it's been 35 days since I started this, and it's been pretty crazy. I would say the first month was just pretty gnarly. The first 2 weeks, just getting on the bike again, kind of recap. First 2 weeks just kind of spent just getting back on the bike and just getting used to being training again on the bike. Third and fourth week, after I'd say about after the third week, I kind of started I lost a lot of weight there in the first three weeks by just riding a good, just getting on the bike. I was not doing any high intensity whatsoever. No group rides, no major training rides, just getting out there on the bike. So I lost a lot of weight. I lost about 12 pounds right in the first 3 weeks. Then over the past 2 weeks to 3 weeks, I've been doing a lot more high intensity stuff. So during that first 4 months when I was just not doing anything, no exercising, just eating, I definitely lost some muscle. So now with the ramp up in, I could tell you this. So I've definitely lost weight like all around, and I'll kind of go into that a little bit more. But with the weight loss kind of plateaued right there about 14, 15 pounds, and then kind of jumped back up to, or I'd say about 217 now that I'm at. Because I've been building a lot more. The legs are starting to fill out again. I'm gaining some muscle, but I'm actually still losing the fat. So I could definitely see where I'm losing it. And I'll show you guys some before and after pictures, which is, I can't stand to look at these pictures, but hey, it's part of the process, right? You got to own it. So I'm owning it. So, basically the last 3 weeks that I've been going hard, I've been doing some a lot harder training rides, doing some intervals, and we had our first race last weekend. Now again, if you've seen any of my past videos, these first couple of races, I don't plan on doing anything. It's just getting out there and just getting some race miles in the legs. I'm still way too heavy to do anything at the finish. Fitness is starting to come around, starting to feel pretty good. But the weight really, really just hinders you. I mean, it's, again, like I talk about, against the guys that I'm racing against, imagine strapping a 15-pound bag of just rocks and trying to race with that and do the same thing that they do. All the accelerations on, off, going up the little hills. I mean, you are having to move that weight a lot harder than those guys are having to work. So by the end of the race, I'm just pummeled. So we had our first race, which was great. I'm going to go into some very exciting things that we have going on for the races coming up. Some things that's never been done. So right now is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you some before and after pictures just for 35 days. So let's go to the before. Oh boy, this is 230 pounds. Poundage. Gnarly. Crazy. Let's see. We've got, so the first picture here, of course, side view, nice belly sticking out. I'm not sticking it out. That's just average. Bending over here in the front, that was just, man, let me tell you, carrying that shit around for the first 30 days of this whole experiment, effing crazy. Back view. So this is where, I could tell you right now. So over the past like 35 days, I've lost a lot of weight in my back. I could just feel it. I could turn around. I could do things more. I could wipe my ass a little easier now. Just so many. I could do so many things a lot easier just in the past 35 days. So definitely pretty gnarly here. So let's go to the after. So this is 35 days, just 35 days of training. Right now, as is, I'm at 16 pounds like net loss. So by net means, so I keep losing weight every day. But over the past, I'm doing a lot more high intensity. So the legs are building back up their muscle kind of in this, where they should be for cycling. Once that kind of stops, which it does, you don't just keep building muscle, but once it gets up to where it was, then my weight will start to come off a lot faster. So this is, I've definitely felt a lot more come off my midsection and also my back. Face is starting to thin up a little bit, but we're still so right now we are at 216 actually. So it's 14 pounds that I've lost in the 35 days. And we're at 216. So good, not too, it's a little bit, my goal here was like 15 pounds every month, but I didn't actually. So starting this, I knew that there was a point to where when you start working hard, you start doing all the hard workouts, my leg, there was, after like the first week of doing the hard workouts, my legs were just throbbing oh my God, it was just, so that's how I knew I was building back up the muscle, so it's been pretty, and then even after the race day, so I did, like, the goal was to do 2 races, and one day there's different categories that you could do, or the different age groups you could do. So I did 2 races. And again, the first race was just to get in there. I had not raced in over a year and 3 months. I had not been on any hard training rides in the past 5 months. I've not done any sprints. I've not done any interval work. I just basically just got in the pack and started. So I'm gonna go to the race kind of view here, and this is actually pretty cool. So I've done some things here. I'm gonna do some things for this channel that you probably have never seen out there at all when it comes to filming on a bike. I've got a total of 4 cameras, and these cameras are spaced on the side of my bike, on the back stay, actually right up there. I've got 2 cameras facing outside, one on outside, so one on the left, one on the right. I've got one on the back seat, which is going to be right there, and then I've got one on my helmet cam that gives you the view. So let's dive into that real quick. I'll show you that, and let's go to... So here's what it's going to look like for upcoming. This is just the first race. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole first race because all I did was pretty much just sit in the back. There was a little bit of a climb, and you don't typically notice it. You kind of dig up a little this little bit of climb. This going downhill right now. This is just starting the race, but you see the different cams on the side. You got at the bottom. You got the left cam. You got the full rear view, and then the right cam on that side, and then of course you've got the main helmet cam up top. This is kind of a starting of the downhill, so this is start of the race. Not going hard right now. We're just kind of coasting, probably 25 miles an hour. Everyone's just kind of gearing up, and I did move up front I felt kind of good like about halfway through, and it was getting kind of sketchy in the back. I just kind of wanted to move up front, but when I moved all the way up front, started going up this hill, there was, they just kind of started taxing my legs again. I'm having to push so much more weight than all these other guys. If these guys are doing 300 watts up this little hill, I'm probably doing about 400, 425 just to carry the same weight. So this is the corner. This is the third corner here, and this is kind of where it starts going up a little bit. You got kind of a little stair step. And so this is what's taxing, right? I mean, it's this little tiny thing, but you do it, 15, 20 times, and man, it just starts wearing off of you. So I'm going to have a video of this whole first race and kind of dissect the race and what I did. There were some things that I did that I focused on, just kind of really focused on being efficient up the hill. And that actually is going to help me in the long run when I really start racing hard. This is going to be really fun for you guys, everyone in the channel, watching the progression of the races heading up to my first win. So, I mean, coming up, it's almost, just a few more weeks. It's already been 2 months. So I only have 4 months to go to win a race. So you're going to be able to watch each race here and what I do, how I start progressing to the front of the races with the faster and lighter that I get. So that's going to be fun. It's a pretty new, cool thing here that we got with the cameras. It does add about a whole nother pound to probably my whole bike, but hell, what the hell? I'm already carrying around 50 extra pounds. So what's one more, right? As long as I get some good things for you guys, some good content and some fun. So we've got, let's kind of take a look at what I've done. So I'll give you, this is what it looked like before I started training. That's after, sorry. So this is what it looked like before I started training. Here's kind of February, the first part of February, just no rides. I got 2 rides here. And like I said, I did a ride here and there just to keep the sanity. But pretty much my fitness went down to 0. And then this is pretty much what it looks like, all the rides that I've been doing. So right now I'm on my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days in a row, and typically I take a day off to give my legs a rest. So today we've got race day tomorrow, and so this is going to be the second race that I'm going to. It's going to be a little bit flatter. I've done pretty good at this one coming up, and I'll be doing 2 races again. And I think this one, the fitness is coming around a lot better. I did a couple of sprints this last week, just doing some training, and the sprint numbers are still pretty high up there. So that's good. I got always that to kind of cover me. Now I can't carry that for a good 15, 20 seconds, but I could carry it for a good, 8 to 10 seconds right now. And then as I start training, I'll be able to carry those watts a lot farther in the sprint. So right now for this week is just going to be, this weekend for tomorrow's race is just going to be just kind of the same thing, just kind of just getting back into the racing again. I'll probably be a little bit more competitive up front, but I don't expect much at the finish because I still just don't have that, I don't have that speed. I got to get that speed in my legs. Right now I've just been kind of doing some heavy work on the bike these last couple of weeks. So we are almost 6 days or 6 weeks into this pretty sick experiment. And I appreciate everyone sticking around and watching this and watching where we're going with this. We've got some fun things going on. Just a few disclaimers for everyone. I'm not a doctor. I'm just showing you my experiment of what I've done. Whether I do this process or that process or eat this or eat that, that's just, it's all on what I'm doing right now. So, this is just my experiment. And, again, I'm not a doctor. So you could just have fun with the channel and watch what we do. So that's about it for episode 3. Again, I will have there be a full video of the very first race, and I'll go into a lot more of the video. So that should be fun. And we've got some more special guests coming up on the channel this next week as well. So stick around with that. So just kind of recap real quick before we sign off. We've got 35 days into the 6-month experiment. We've lost 14 pounds. We've lost more fat than that. I know that, but we've also gained some muscle back. So right now we're about 14 pounds. We've got 1 race under our belt. We've got another race coming up this weekend, and we got some fun things coming up. So again, thanks for sticking around with me. Don't forget to like this video if you like it, and subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification on the YouTube, and that'll make sure that you get notified for any new videos that I got coming on, or all my new content. So again, thanks for sticking around, and I really appreciate you guys and helping me grow this channel, and hopefully get some good content out to you. Thanks. Bye.